going on, Orlando Magic fans? Welcome back to the Six-Man Show Postgame Live, presented by Rock'em. Another nice night here after the Orlando Magic get another victory, this time in Washington. And oh my goodness, you guys should see what is on my screen right now. Things are breaking, they're falling apart, but we're glad you're here to the Six-Man Show Postgame Live. First off, Merry Christmas. Merry belated Christmas to anyone who got to celebrate that yesterday. And for Christmas this year, you guys got a victory. The Orlando Magic defeat the Washington Wizards 127-119 in an interesting game. At one level, guys, I'm happy about the victory. At another level, it wasn't the Magic's best performance against a team that isn't that great. However, a win is a win is a win, and we'll take it. Chat, how are we doing tonight? Hope you guys are well. We're going to get to you guys in just a second, but first, I got to tell you about Rock'em. Rock'em is the world's largest sock store, and they're the presenting sponsor of the Six-Man Show Postgame Live all season long. It's a great company. They make socks, they make underwear, and they're a Central Florida company. They're located in Orlando, just down the road from the newly renamed Kia Center. It's a great company. They make great products, not just Magic stuff, but NFL, NHL, college, as well as fun things from pop culture like Disney, Marvel, Harry Potter, you name it. They've got all kinds of fun stuff there. And when you shop at Rock'em.com, please use the code MAGIC20. That'll get you 20% off when you shop there, and it also helps out the Six-Man Show. Again, we're super pumped to be partnering with them all season long. And so, yeah, do us a favor, shop at Rock'em.com and use that code MAGIC20. All right, chat. Good evening, everybody. Glad you guys are here. First off, we always got to start with the super chats, and we have one right away from Ty Mr. TV, who says, hit the like button and always bet on black. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, the Anthony Black doubters or skeptics will definitely be silenced tonight as Anthony Black goes off for his career best game by far. By every statistic, pretty much, it was his best night, especially offensively. Anthony Black was sensational, and we'll talk about him later on in the show. Michael has a question. Why is it Ty and not TV? So, Michael, Ty, Mr. TV, has been a viewer, a fan of the Six-Man Show for a long time. We go way back. And Ty's name used to be Ty, Mr. TV, and now it's just Mr. TV. But anyway, so we go way back. That's why I know his name is Ty, Mr. TV. So let's see who else we got here. Jeremy says, give AB the game ball. That's our rook. Like I said, Anthony Black was sensational. Yeah, everybody in chat talking about Anthony Black. Matthew Kennison says, Wendell Carter Jr. frustrates me. I keep saying this, guys, okay? It's just too early. It's just too early for me to be worrying about that. Like, this is his, fourth game back after he was out for around about 20 games. And let's not forget, guys, he only played, let's see, it was the Utah game when he got hurt, so that was the fourth game of the season, I want to say. Fourth or fifth game. So he had a whole offseason, only played, 4 or 5 games, and then was out for 20 games. So he has had zero chance to get any kind of rhythm, any kind of consistent reps. It's going to take a little bit of time for him to shake the rust off. Now, does that mean he's going to be back and be perfect when he's fully back to form? I don't know, but I'm not quite at the point yet where I'm worried about Wendell Carter Jr., especially on a night like tonight. Let's see here. More Anthony Black is everywhere, man. In the whole chat, all we're talking about is Anthony Black, and for good reason. Thanks, praises says, shout out to all the Magic fans who were watching AB hoop during the summer league and knew this was coming. Anthony Black, high basketball IQ, and now he's getting the shot to fall right now, at least for tonight, which was great. Luis Rosario says, now we need to show the league this week that the Magic are not going away this year. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, tomorrow is a huge opportunity for the Magic to do that. Obviously, the Sixers would be a big win. No Joel Embiid, obviously. Maybe puts a little bit of an asterisk on that. If you haven't heard, he's not going to play tomorrow night. But yeah, definitely a big opportunity for the Magic. Not just, obviously, against the Sixers, but anytime you can sweep a back-to-back is a big deal. So we'll see if the Magic can do that tomorrow. Chris Dees says, nothing against Markelle, but AB is the future. It's a matter of when, not if. Play that freaking song. First off, Chris, thanks for listening, and absolutely, let's play the song. As far as Markelle, AB, obviously AB's got a certainly, he's a lot younger than Markelle, so certainly is more of the future there. We'll see. We're still expecting Markelle to be back, anytime in the next couple weeks, hopefully. That'll be very interesting to see how Jamal Mosley and the staff handle Markelle coming back, just like we've seen Wendell coming back, and Goga still being able to play as well as Mo. That's worked out really well. I mean, we can talk about that for a second. The fact that the three-headed monster at center is clicking pretty well right now. Obviously, again, just like we mentioned, Wendell still coming back, but Mo and Goga both being able to play, both being able to be impactful over the last couple games has been really cool to see. Didalos, this is it, man. This is everything. He says, beating the teams you should be, even though it got a bit tight near the end there, good stuff. Yeah. Like I mentioned at the very top, not exactly the best performance for the Magic. If you ask me, we allowed the Wizards to do things that the Wizards shouldn't be doing, right? Like if you look at how this Wizards team has played all season long, there are certain things they're really not good at, and we let them do some of those things that they're not good at. They did them really well tonight, obviously rebounding and being one of them. So you don't love to see that. However, a win is a win. And like you said, beating the teams you should beat, which the Magic have done a really, really good job of that for the most part this season. So credit to the Magic. Oh, let's see. Yeah, Ryan, this is kind of similar. He says, I think the Magic are taking it a bit easy at this game. Good thing if we can do that and still get the dub. I would say, I wouldn't say maybe taking it easy, but I thought they took a lot of possessions off, like mentally. There were a lot of just mistakes. Turnovers were a real problem in this game, and a lot of them were just careless, rushed turnovers. Basically, I felt like the Magic played the Wizards style of basketball as far as the pace and just the franticness of it, if that's even a word, instead of the Magic dictating the style and the pace of play, which I believe they're good enough to do against a team like Washington. So they kind of played into Wizards' hands tonight. And as a result, they had a lot of careless turnovers tonight. So Dizzy says Paolo and Franz are them. Yeah, Paolo and Franz are great tonight. We're going to talk about their stats here in a little bit. Oh my, what a chat message here from Clement. He says, won more challenges today than the Pistons have won games this season. Woof. Oh my goodness. I guess it would be you won the same amount because the Magic won 2 challenges and the Pistons have won 2 games. Which, by the way, I was watching the very end of that game right before we went live here on the show. Yeah, disappointing. I just feel bad for the Pistons fans. They were in this game against Brooklyn tonight. Again, I kind of had it on my phone while I was watching the Magic game, trying to see if they could break that streak, but sure enough, they could not. And they have now lost, I believe it's 27 in a row now, which is just crazy. Mess has Mo Bamba sighting next game. Let's not forget, folks, Mo Bamba now plays for the Philadelphia 76ers, and with Joel Embiid out. Could Mo Bamba make a return to the court in Orlando tomorrow? We'll see. And we're going to talk about this game later, folks, because old Patrick Beverley making his trip to Orlando after some comments over the summer. So stick around for that when we talk about that. Let's see. I'm skipping ahead a little bit here because we got to talk about this game. Yeah, Dizzy says Detroit is just sad. Yeah, Ty Mr. TV says moment of silence for the Pistons. Yeah. Feel bad for them. Michael Martin says, I'm glad Wendell is back. He stabilizes our guys out there. Yep. Again, I'm not worried about Wendell. He still does a lot of things well, and I think he'll be okay. Mesa, did y'all see AB upset after they wrapped his elbow? I mean, yeah. Sometimes, you saw at the when he was standing on the, not at the free throw line, but on the side of the free throw line, ready to rebound, he took that wrap off. Guys, NBA players are just creatures of habit, and like when something's disrupting their flow or whatever, and he's not going to keep it on there. Times TV says we have a too much talent problem. What a great problem to have. I'm telling you, man. This is the deepest Magic team in. This team is definitely deeper than like the Euro Bros era. Like the bench of this team is just so much better. So it's pretty fun. Chris D says after missing the last few post games because of the holidays, it's nice to sit down with Kevin and some coffee and celebrate a Magic W. Chris, I appreciate that. That's such a heartwarming thing to hear. Glad you're hanging out with us tonight, and glad we get to enjoy another Magic win with over 100 of you Magic maniacs here tonight on this Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. If you're just joining us for the first time, welcome to Six Man Show. We're an Orlando Magic podcast. We put out shows every Monday and Thursday. And we do these post-game live shows after every single Orlando Magic game. So glad you're here. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well. Glad you're here. I'm going to skip ahead all the way to the bottom of the chat here. Michael Canty says, Bomba finna get a triple dub. Oh, man. Luis Rosario says, Goga got some jam hot chicken dunks tonight. Yeah, he had several tonight. Goga was really, really good. Sleepy Light said, what did I miss? Hey, this is perfect timing because now is the time I'm going to talk about this game. So this game was an interesting one, guys. I've already kind of touched on it a little bit. I thought the Magic obviously got off to a really good start. They get out to I don't know what that lead was in that first quarter before we let them come back into it. 9, maybe 7. I don't know what it was. You get off to a great start. That first quarter, Anthony Black, obviously his stats on the whole night were great, but that first quarter he had 11 points. Jalen had 9 in that first quarter, hit 3 threes in the first, but you let the Wizards back into it and you end up tied after the first quarter. And then the second quarter was a bit more of the same. Anthony Black ended up with 17 at the end of the first half, but the issues tonight really were the turnovers. Turnovers were just unacceptable. Especially, you end up with 8 turnovers in the first half. Let me see what we ended up with for the whole game. Yeah, 16. Okay, so 8 in the first, 8 in the second half. Again, I just felt like this team was just playing at a frantic pace for most of the night, which is very typical for what the Wizards like to do. That's how the Wizards play. And I really was hoping that the Magic would come into this game and be able to assert their own style of play, their own pace of play, as opposed to falling victim to how the Wizards like to play. And that just didn't happen tonight. And so that led to a lot of turnovers, 16 on the night for the Magic, which is just too many against a team like Washington. I know Washington plays at this crazy pace. They like to get out and run when they force turnovers. But I think the Magic are good enough to control a game a little bit better than they did tonight. Again, credit to the Magic. They won. And the sign of a good team is you can win a lot of different ways, and the Magic found a way to win tonight. Just wish it was a little bit different. But it is what it is. Not a big thing, not a worry tonight. Let's see. Meh said, I swear I thought it was the Amway Center. I think you mean Kia Center, with all those Magic fans at the closing interview with Franz. There were a ton of Magic fans there in the visitors' corner down there, which is always fun to see. There's a lot of Magic fans up there in the DMV area, which is kind of cool. Some of them are big fans of the show as well. I know some of our patrons as well, like Armin is one of our long-standing patrons, lives, I don't know if he lives up there anymore. Anyway, he was there at the game tonight, so that was fun. But anyway, yeah, it is the Kia Center now. So rest of this game, obviously third quarter, it's a bit of a mess. More turnovers there in the third quarter. The first half of the fourth quarter, honestly, I thought was the Magic's best section of this game. Thought they played really well on both ends of the court until they didn't. The second half of that fourth quarter was a bit of a mess. You let the Wizards back into it with an 11-0 run. It ends up, I don't want to say dicey down the stretch. It wasn't ever truly in jeopardy. The Magic kept them, 2 possessions away for the entirety of the fourth quarter, but they did have some chances. There was that 3 that ended up being challenged and overturned on the Anthony Black foul, which is a good call, by the way. And then a couple other threes in there. And again, it got within 6, I believe, is the closest before some free throws put the game away. So, a mixed bag tonight for this Magic team, I thought. But once again, the end result is the one that's the most important. So you come out with a win tonight, which is really, really cool. Let's take a look at some of the stats because there's a lot of fun stats in this in this box score tonight. Franz tonight, really good in a lot of ways, but one of the biggest ways is his shooting. Why can't I do this? There we go. Oh, it's broken. NBA.com is broken. It's not letting me do anything. I can't click. I can't zoom. There we go. Okay. Franz Wagner, great night tonight. And especially shooting the basketball, his best night in, I believe, I wish I remember who I saw on Twitter. I apologize. I usually like to write this stuff down and give credit where it's due, but someone made the note that this is the first time that Paolo hit, I believe it was 2 or more threes since December 8th. So it's been 18 days since, I said Paolo, since Franz has hit 2 or more threes, 18 days since that. And so tonight he goes 10 of 17 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, 6 of 8 from the free throw line, 8 boards, 9 assists, 28 points, a steal, a block, 2 turnovers. I mean, stat stuffing for Franz. The Wizards just hate seeing that guy. That dude has torched the Wizards so many times in his young NBA career. But yeah, again, Franz shooting 50% from 3 tonight was huge. It was big time, especially considering the slump that he's been in. But yeah, Franz was great. And for the record, I do not like down the stretch when it was, I don't know, a minute and a half, minute 15 left in this game, the ISO possessions that we had back-to-back. One was Franz, one was Paolo. Franz ends up doing that straightaway triple. It's just not a good shot. It's not Magic basketball. Is he capable of making it? Yes. Same thing with Paolo. It's just, is he capable of making it? Yes, he did make the shot. We do that so often. I know that is the way of the NBA. The way of the NBA is down the stretch, you get your best player the ball and you let him go to work. I just don't know. I don't know. Again, it's hard because sometimes it works, right? Like Paolo especially, very good once he gets beyond or past the three-point line, especially into the paint, mid-range, very good at that. I guess what I'm trying to say is the ISO Franz long triple rarely has succeeded so far in these situations. So I'd love for Franz to try to get, to the rim, which, he should be able to do pretty well, and he did pretty well tonight against the Wizards. Basically, anyone other than Daniel Gafford doesn't have a chance at rejecting or really challenging Franz at the rim. So anyway, I'm nitpicking at this point, but we've seen that so many times in Franz's now 2 1/3 season career, where it's that ISO time down the stretch, the long triple, rarely works. But it's okay because he had a great night tonight. Paolo also very good tonight, 10 of 22 from the field. Missed his only three-pointer. Obviously, free throws, not great. You want him to do better than 4 of 8 from the line, but he added 3 boards, 8 assists, a steal, a block, 3 turnovers. So here's the thing. Paolo, Franz, 24 points, by the way, for Paolo. Paolo, Franz combined for 5 turnovers. You'd like that to be maybe at least one less than that. 4 turnovers for the 2 guys, I think, would be a okay number. Less would be better. But across the board, though, 2 blocks combined, 2 steals combined, 17 combined assists, 11 combined rebounds, 16 combined free throws. That's your duo right there, and they were great. They were really, really good. When you get numbers like that, we're going to be really hard to beat from those 2 guys. Wendell, only 21 minutes tonight, 6 points, 2 of 3 from the field. Did hit a triple tonight, which is good to see. Had 4 boards, 2 assists, and a block. As well. Jalen, a tale of 1 quarter versus 3 quarters. He was great in that first quarter, 9 points. Like I mentioned earlier, went 3 of 5 from 3 in that first quarter. And then just kind of fell apart offensively, at least, after that. Ended up just going, let's see, it would have been, he didn't make one after that. So he went 0 of 5 from 3 the rest of the way. But ended up with 3 boards, an assist, 3 steals, and a block. The rest of the stat line's a very typical Jalen stat line. And then, of course, we mentioned Anthony Black. Career night for him. He was great. Man, what a great night for Anthony Black. How fun was that? 23 points for him on 9 of 13 shooting, 4 of 6 from 3. They kept leaving him open, and he kept making them pay. He made his only free throw, 6 boards, only 1 assist, which is interesting, but he had 4 steals as well. Sensational from Anthony Black. Before we look at the bench, chat, let's check in with you here. Let's see. Mike A says, first win at the Kia Center tomorrow. I would love that. I think it's very possible. Obviously, this is a tough back-to-back, and again, we're going to talk more about tomorrow's game later, but just mentioning the fact that it is a tough back-to-back, you're going from, the mid-Atlantic region of the United States in D.C. back down to Orlando. You got to play tomorrow. And Philly's been chilling in Orlando all day today. So, that'll be interesting. Grits baby, no Joel Embiid tomorrow. That'll be big. Michael Martin said, somewhere I saw a mock trade to get Tyus Jones to Orlando. I wasn't with it at first. Wasn't with it at first, but after seeing him tonight, I changed my mind. Tyus Jones would be a great fit for the Magic. He's a very efficient three-point shooter. I believe this season he's around 40%. Last I saw when that trade, I remember seeing that same thing, Michael, over the weekend. And Jonathan, Luke, myself, we were talking about that. I think it was Luke that brought it up. He's got a 5-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio as well. An efficient player. I think it would be a great fit, in this Orlando team. I don't know what it would take to get someone like that, but I would not mind that at all. Let's see. Matt's talking about All-Stars here. He says, who are the other front court All-Stars for the East? Well, it's going to be tough, guys. I know men saying our boys should be a shoo-in. You gotta understand, this is the national NBA landscape we're talking about. Obviously, in our own little world, we think Paolo's a guarantee, and Franz maybe should get in as well. But the rest of the NBA world doesn't follow the Magic like we do, guys. And so there's a lot of haters out there. That's all I'm going to say. Michael Lynch, checking in from Ireland, as always, says, "Go Magic. Thanks, Kevin. Hit that like button, you Magic Maniacs." Yes, Magic Maniacs. Please do that. Which, by the way, I still say, like, if you are here right now at 9:56 p.m. Eastern Time on the night after Christmas, watching a YouTube live stream, recapping a game against the Washington Wizards, you are the definition of an Orlando Magic maniac. And so you are our people. These are my kind of people here. So glad you guys are here. This is a good time. Let's see. Let's look at the rest of the box score here with the bench. Gary Harris, I'm surprised to see he played 19 minutes. I thought he was almost invisible tonight. Goes 1 of 2 from 3, 1 of 1 from 3. 1 of 2 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3 for 3 points tonight. Excuse me, man. Not a whole lot else. I haven't slept much this week, in case you couldn't tell. But let's see. Yeah, not a bad night for Gary. He's had some really bad nights lately, and so I'll take a quiet night versus a bad night. Mo Wagner loves playing his former teams. Tonight plays the Wizards again. 5 of 9 from the field for 11 points, 5 boards, and an assist. Goga. Let me skip. All right, I accidentally skipped ahead. Cole first. Cole had 11 points, 4 of 11 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3. Hit both of his free throws, 3 boards, 4 assists, a steal. An okay night for Cole. He was fine. He was okay. Caleb Houston didn't take a shot tonight. Surprising. He's been chucking up a lot of threes lately. Not necessarily a bad thing, but none tonight. And then Goga. What a night for Goga. 10 points in 11 minutes. 4 of 5 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Had 7 boards in 11 minutes. 3 assists. I mean, a stat stuffer. Crazy good night from Goga. We got all the people overseas checking in here. Michael says 3 a.m. where he is. Daidalos, it's 4 a.m. Ryan, it's 10 a.m. here. Ryan, 10 a.m. You're 12 hours. So I'm trying to guess where you are, Ryan. Let's see. 12 hours. That would be... It's not Australia, right? Let's see. Is that like... I guess it could... I don't know if Western Australia is 12 hours, I mean. So maybe like... I'm trying to remember if Japan or Eastern China is 12 hours. You have to let me know. Ryan. I'm curious where you are. Let's see. Yeah, Tom says 3 a.m. here in England, but don't want to be anywhere else after a Magic W. Let's go, Tom. Appreciate that. He says, Ryan says nearly there. Okay, so by nearly there, I'm assuming you're talking about the China and Japan guesses. So maybe Daidalo says guessing Philippines. Indonesia. Nice, Ryan. Indonesia. Man, you guys are crazy. We got all over the world sitting here watching the Six Man Show postgame live. That's amazing. Magic fans are awesome. I did want to look at some of the Wizards box score really fast, just because it's interesting, right? Like Jordan Poole, 30 points tonight. Like that surprises me. I know he was chucking there at the end, but I didn't think he had 30. That's an efficient 30 as well. That's interesting. But Daniel Gafford was the one I wanted to talk about. 13 points, 13 rebounds, 3 blocks. Daniel Gafford was a monster tonight, man. He was so impressive. He was causing a lot of trouble for the Magic. So yeah, let's take a look at where did that go? There we go. Some of these team stats that I always like to look at. First off, let's look at the quarters. Magic win every quarter except the fourth, so that's pretty good. But this one right here, guys, 70 points in the paint for the Magic. Sheesh, that's crazy. Good luck losing when you score 70 points in the paint. That'd be hard to do. Good job for the Magic tonight. Like I said, anyone except for Daniel Gafford had no chance defending the Magic in the paint tonight. So kudos to the Magic for taking advantage of that. Wizards did get 23 fast break points. Again, that's what they like to do. Magic had the large lead tonight of 17. Even bench points tonight, which is surprising. 35 for each team. That's rare for the Magic to be outscored by the bench, especially Washington's bench, which I think the Magic's bench is certainly better than them tonight, but tonight they were not. Not their normal best. 16 turnovers for the Magic, but fortunately for them, 21 for the Wizards, which led to 31 points off turnovers for the Magic. So credit to the Magic for taking advantage of all those Wizards turnovers. And then let's look at these team stats here. Magic shoot 52% from the field, 46% from three. A terrific shooting night for the Magic. Again, part of that is Wizards are just a terrible defensive team, but you'll take it. Another poor free throw night, though. 68%, 17 of 25 from free throw line tonight. Not great. Again, you get out-rebounded by the Wizards, which I think Jeff Turner said that's only the second time that's happened this season, which is crazy. So rare for the Magic to, especially against a team like that. It's just not a good rebounding team. Let's see. You get 30 assists on what was that? 49 field goals. That's pretty good. 11 steals. We already talked about the turnovers, those fast break points, fouls, and all that good stuff. So, yeah. Interesting night tonight for the Magic. And so, not a whole lot, again, I'm going to sit here and complain about just those couple things. But by and large, a win is a win. Again, like Didalis mentioned, others have mentioned as well, you beat the teams you're supposed to beat, and so you'll take that every single time. Let's take a look at some other scores around the league. We already mentioned this one right here. Nets beat the Pistons. The Pistons have lost 27 consecutive games. Oh, I don't even like the Pistons. I don't hate the Pistons, but I don't have any kind of, any kind of affinity to that. But I just feel bad for that fan base. Can you imagine? I think more than anything, I also feel bad for the people that cover the team because, I know sitting here as an Orlando Magic fan who does this post-game show after every single Orlando Magic game, I cannot imagine sitting here. I love you guys. I love the Orlando Magic. But I don't know if I could handle sitting here and doing this show after 27 straight losses. Doing this show 27 times after a loss. I don't know if my brain could handle that. I would probably have to take a break until they won. Because that has to just wear on you. Can't imagine. Okay, I'm done talking about the Pistons for tonight. Other scores. How about this? The Thunder leading the Timberwolves right now. Timberwolves are insane right now, 22-6, but the Thunder with a 17-point lead with just under 10 minutes to go. That's an interesting one. Grizzlies Pelicans in a close one. When we wrap up here in just a few minutes, I'm probably going to catch the end of that game because that's kind of fun now, especially with Ja back. He's got 24 points. That's a good matchup. Bulls currently leading the Hawks as well, another close one. So interesting though that the Magic and the Pistons are the only two games that are final already tonight. But let's take a look at the standings, see how this Magic win impacts things. Obviously, the Celtics are just on a roll. They beat the Lakers yesterday on Christmas Day, but that team's so good. So good. You got the Bucks, the Sixers, and the Magic. Obviously, like we said, tomorrow you get a chance to narrow down that Philadelphia 76ers lead. You can cut the lead to one game with a win tomorrow for the Magic, so we'll see how that goes. But the thing with the Magic, man, we've cooled off, okay? We had the 9-game win streak. That was great. We've cooled off since then. But we haven't totally fallen apart. Okay, yeah, we had the 4-game losing streak. But we've responded now with 2 consecutive wins here, in Indy and tonight in Washington. And so this team is just kind of settled back in, which is great to see. Again, you're beating teams you should. But again, you're beating teams you should. So who's going to complain about that? Last thing we'll talk about tonight, we've got to talk about tomorrow's game, guys. Tomorrow's a big one. Here's what I want to do. I want to come in here and take a look at, I want to remind us what Patrick Beverley said about the Orlando Magic. I'm going to pull up the exact quote because I don't want to, misrepresent anything or misquote anything. Because tomorrow night, Patrick Beverley, which, by the way, let's take a look at that. Because I want to see, I misspelled his name. I want to see what he's doing this season before I talk about what tomorrow looks like. So this season, he is playing 17 minutes per game, 4.8 points per game, 2.8 rebounds, 2.2 assists, half a steal. Okay, Some of you are like, why is Kevin sitting here talking about Patrick Beverley? Hold that thought. I'm going to answer that question for you. Shahin with a super chat first, though. He says, guys, it's up to us to vote and hype our guys for all-star consideration. Yeah, do that right now as we're wrapping up this show. Right now, as I'm setting up the big game tomorrow against the Sixers, pull that out, whether you're on your computer, on your mobile, whatever. Vote for our guys. And in fact, you can vote for them right now at 10 o'clock, and I believe it resets at midnight, so maybe you can vote again in 2 hours if you're still awake. But yes, man, thank you for that Shahin, sorry. I was reading man below you. Shahin, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that, and thanks for the reminder. As far as Patrick Beverley, okay, this is why I'm talking about Patrick Beverley, because back in September, October-ish, is this article going to have a direct quote? No, it's not. It just has the, here it is. Okay. They were talking about the top 100 players. I think it was ESPN that came out with that ranking. And he found out that the Magic had both Paolo and Franz in there. And he made a really ignorant statement when he said, if you got two people in the top 100 on your team, the Orlando Magic, you should be winning games. If you have two people that are under the top 50, you should make the bleeping playoffs. Why are you so bad? If everyone on the team is so nice, why are you so bad? And it came out of total ignorance, because those of us who follow the team understand that this team wasn't bad last season. When we were injured and completely decimated with injuries in the first 25 games of the season, we were bad. We were 5-20, but when we were healthy, we were above 500, but he wouldn't know that because he's casual. And it's also kind of funny because Ty's exactly right here. This is it. We cut him. You'd think he might follow the team a little bit closely because he was on the roster for a little bit. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see tomorrow. I hope. Here's the tough part about this kind of thing, because Magic fans, there's the Magic maniacs like us who get it, right? We understand things like this. We follow the team close enough to know when Patrick Beverley calls out the Orlando Magic for being a terrible team when he doesn't know what he's talking about. But a lot of Magic fans, especially this time of year at Christmas, go to these games and they're casuals, okay? So tomorrow night, for the most part, unfortunately, I think it's going to be a rather tame environment. But if any of you are listening to this and are going to this game, please make some noise, the negative kind of noise at Patrick Beverley tomorrow, okay? Like, do us a little favor, okay? Ty Mr. TV says, I need P5 to dunk on and send him to the Sharks. Let's go. That'd be fun. Thanks for that super chat, Ty. I appreciate that, and that would be awesome. But yeah, my thoughts on tomorrow, it's tough because the Sixers are playing well. Despite not having Embiid, they're playing well. Obviously, they lost on yesterday on Monday in Miami. Tyrese Maxey, as was mentioned on the broadcast tonight, had a terrible night yesterday. I think he shot like 5 of 20 or something like that. So he's due. I don't want to sit here and say it's a game the Magic should win because of the second night of a back-to-back. And Philadelphia is still good. However, this is not as much of a scheduled loss, what we call scheduled loss, as originally thought, you know? When you look at the schedule and you see, oh, you're playing Philly on the second night of a back-to-back when they have a day of rest, you automatically think a loss. But without Embiid, I think it's possible. I think it's possible that this team can beat Philadelphia tomorrow, especially at home. But we'll see. We'll see. It'll be a really good test for this team. Really good test for this team to see what they are made of. So, well, that was fun. Anyway, yeah, I think that's going to do it for us tonight, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This has been really fun. A nice return to action after the Christmas break. Hope all of you had a wonderful Christmas. Again, we'll be right back at it tomorrow. Magic, Sixers, tip-off is at 7 p.m. tomorrow night, just like tonight, so that'll be a fun one. I really don't know what to expect, but regardless, win, loss, we'll be right here once that is done, right back here on YouTube, so join us then. Until then, have a great Wednesday, and let's go Magic.